This was supposed to be small, I swear. But the more I built and the more I thought, the more it grew until we arrived at this. However, you can't deny just how beautiful this symmetry looks. What probably lacks symmetry, but makes up for it in order, is the other side, which is this one right here. A little messy, especially this part right here, which honestly was not planned at the very beginning. And this came out the way it did, simply because I started with a small thought, you see. I wanted this area to be like a maintenance area, just like in the steel factory, where the base materials would be made. In this case, the base materials are black powder. Okay, sure. But then when I went to check the Nobelisk's requirements, it required steel pipes. So I thought, okay, I could make steel ingots down here. And that would work out fine, right? Which is that little annex over there. But then I thought, you know what? I don't want to make steel pipes on the quote-unquote main level where the explosives will actually be made. So that's when I decided to squeeze in the actual steel pipe constructors down here, which I hated doing this, but I had to really tightly pack it in here, including the splitters. It's not exactly the prettiest thing, but at the same time there's a beauty to it as well. And in the end, what matters is that I got all the pipes out flawlessly. There is no obstruction in the walls, nothing is clipping, no nothing, everything is working as intended. And so between the 6 constructors making steel pipes and the 4 assemblers making black powder, I can then proceed to make the main level, where we will have 4 more assemblers making the Nobelisk explosives. Now, in order to get the steel ingot production going first and foremost, I had to recur to an extra iron node, because this one down here was not enough. Luckily, there was one over here at the edge of the oasis, which didn't seem too far, so I was able to get a small conveyor belt all the way to the factory, where it would feed into the system at the annex. Of note is that I bought and used for the first time in this playthrough the conveyor wall attachments, which I think came out looking really nice. It wraps around the bottom of the maintenance area, although this can no longer be called a maintenance area, it's more like just the initial production hub. But anyway, it wraps around until it comes in here, meets with the other iron for a total of 180 and 180, coal and iron respectively, which let me comfortably make the 4 foundries. So I had that going for me, right? However, it seems I made a grave miscalculation. Not 5 minutes after recording this segment, I decided to check the requirements for the Nobelisk explosives and realized that my math was off. As it turns out, I did not need 4 assemblers to create 4 assemblers worth of Nobelisk explosives, but 8, meaning that I had to improvise with the space I had to get 4 more assemblers in here, and I did so in the dead space that I had over here. They're a lot more tightly packed. Order seems out of sync with the rest of it, but at the same time this clutter seems to fit in well with the rest of the building. Now, putting the space issues aside, I've come to realize that my initial vision for this factory might have to change. See, the original thought I had was that I could make all my weapons here, a proper weapons manufacturing factory as I mentioned last time, but when I checked the MAM, it seems that in order to unlock cartridges in the research tree, you need plastic, which makes me think that I need plastic to actually make the cartridges. And the problem with getting plastic to this factory is, well, getting plastic to this factory. With all the oil nodes far from here, I'd have to literally transport the plastic all the way here if I wanted to expand this factory to create both explosives and the rifle cartridges. And that's just not a viable option right now. So what I'm gonna do instead is build up the current factory as it is right now, and in the future, if there's space, and if there's availability from plastic, then sure, I'll build up the extra factories to make the cartridges here. If not, then c'est la vie, I'll have to make them elsewhere. 5 minutes later, and I've got this little setup right here. 4 assemblers that all merge together into a single output that goes outside the wall, back inside, for no other reason than because I wanted that. Then up here to the top floor of the manufacturing plant, where it leads into storage. This top floor will be literally nothing except a small perch upon which I'll be able to observe the world from perhaps a balcony over here, and the actual factory from this side, as well as just serving as my general storage area. Now that this is essentially done, I'm going to let it run for a while and get some explosives so that we can head on our way. What I'm going to do after I get them is make a small time lapse on the way there. We're gonna go in the tractor, and today I'm gonna start setting up the oil factory, all the oil things. I'll have to fetch the materials and all that to be handily ready to build anything. But before I do that, see, I told you I knew how to make it. And now that we're here, the episode can officially start. Hi there, my name's TheTrueNev, I'm the only me there is, and welcome back to the Satisfactory Non-Series. Episode, 9 was it? I think it was 9. Where we find ourselves in the oil field. Now, the plan is as follows. I'm gonna go down and start marking these areas out, because I don't think I have enough materials to actually place down oil extractors on all of them, but also because, honestly, this place is full of bad guys. You can't see them right now, but as soon as I get near one of those nodes, oh boy, they're gonna pop out of nowhere. And if I recall, it was a lot of big bad alpha spitters and crabfly trees, and, you know, I feel a little woefully unprepared with just the 100 explosives. So, let's see what happens. 70 meters, and oh boy, here we are. Okay, so we gotta be smart about this. Huh, funny. You walk a little away, they disappear on you. You walk a little closer, they reappear. We gotta be smart about this. This guy is big. He's one of the alphas, you can tell. He's bigger than normal. These two trees will be a little bit problematic. And, you know, we gotta be smart about this. Come on, how many enemies have we faced until now that we know exactly how to deal with? So, first thing I'm going to do is get a height advantage on them because the high ground and all that. Smart move first. Let's get rid of the trees. We know for a fact that if I just remove the trees... Whoa, buddy! If I just remove the trees from the equation, the flies will despawn on their own. Eventually. The next step will, of course, be... Good God, man! The next step will, of course, be planting explosives on this guy. If I'm not mistaken, all I need is 2 explosives, well-timed, well-placed, on this guy's body, and yeah, I know you saw me. And ooh, that's not good. Whew. And I should be able to kill him. Woefully unprepared. I missed a lot of those shots. And only the last one really got stuck to his body, but hey, that's something. Best part about this is, you know, free alien carapaces and organs. And no damage incurred to your body. Of course, don't be like me, don't be an idiot. Save before you face up to these guys, they are tough. Alright then, so the first one is impure. And the first question I have is, how does that affect? How much can I gain from an impure node? Let's place down a temporary extractor and see what's what. I gotta say though, that's looking real nice. Okay, so impure gives 60. That means normal gives 120, and most likely a pure node gives 240. Which is not too bad. We can work with that. Ooh, well, you're not alphas, so I can probably take you on, but let's see now. Come on, guys. I'm over here. Oh, Jesus. That hurt. Take some of that in your face. Ooh, beautiful. One shot. That's another one. And the third one bites the dust. Ooh, I missed your face, though. Not anymore, though. There we go. Alright, normal note it is. What dangers might me... Oh, no. Are there any trees, though? There aren't. That means I could probably face it to this guy by myself. Let's do it. Come on, ya bitch. You're not scary, you're just terrifyingly large. I totally missed that. How did I miss that? You're so big. Oh gosh, another one. Get back here. Whoa. Dude, get back here. Jesus. There we go. That hurt ya. And come on. Still alive, eh? There we go. Is this it? Yes. Another normal node. Well, things are looking up. And there's two more over there. Ooh. Let's look for those then. Alright, two nodes over here. I like seeing them both together. That's good. Oh, but that's less good. Are there any trees or... Doesn't seem like there are. Oh, but we've got some more spitters. Okay. Oh, you saw me already, didn't you? Alright, fine. Hold on. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. I know you want to fight. I know. I know. Oh, okay. Despawn on me then. Whatever your playstyle, if you want to go up front against these guys or from a small distance or up high, always be careful. There's trees! That is not good. Ooh, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on. Oh, come on. Come on. Closer. Yes. Taste the wrath of my explosives, buddy. Taste the wrath of my gosh darn it. I'm not gonna make it, am I? And I'm wasting explosives too. There we go. And there's another big guy. Oof, it's a good thing I didn't advance any further. That's a lot of flies. Good thing they despawn, eh? Oh! He's dead. Nice. Didn't expect him to die in one hit. Good. And look at this! We got doggos over here! There's, oh, quite a few doggos actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice! This could be very good. Because that's another thing I want to do. Pure cured oil. Good. That's another thing I want to do. Create a doggo farm. But for that I need to bring pale berries to tame them. Yet another reason to go back home, of course. Don't want to get too near these guys, though they're coming near me. Stay back, guys. I don't have any food for you. Not just yet, anyway. This one is... Oh, dear. It's also pure. That's beautiful. That's very good to know. Now that I think about it, it's a good thing that the doggos didn't spawn in just yet. I would have probably killed one with the explosives. Okay, doggo, don't come near me. I don't see any trees right here. Okay, let's take another risk. Hey, buddy. Yo, buddy. Oh, there's a tree. Oh, Jesus. Okay, no. Stop. I did not save. Are you dead? Yes. Okay. Oh, hey, buddy. I didn't see you there. Green boy. Did you see me? I think you did. Okay, let's do it. Come on, buddy. Let's tango. Let's dance. Oh my gosh. You're still alive. Okay. Woo! You're alive! Wait, you were supposed to be dead. There we go. And actually, I know where I am. In my previous playthrough, I built my party pyramid somewhere in that general direction, and I arrived to this place when I needed to create a power plant, so yes, I know exactly where I am. And now on to the last one, and I can't believe that the beacons actually held out. I only made a few of them, meaning that there are actually 10 nodes in this entire place. Actually, meaning that this entire area is an oil gold mine, if you think about it. Any enemies? No! Oh, goodness, thank you. Alright, impure, so impure, impure, normal, normal, pure, pure, alright. I can deal with this. And here we have some rare footage of me taming the doggos in what is a channel first, before subsequently enslaving them for the rest of their lives in a makeshift pen so that I can become a doggo rancher. And so, a few hours later, here we are. Now, when I say a couple of hours, I mean a couple very much long hours, in which I struggled to get a design going because I had a very vague idea in my head of what I wanted to do. The idea is simply an oil rig, right? Just a platform in the middle of the ocean, except I didn't know how I wanted to make it. So in the end I opted for this. A main central platform with 4 quadrants on a lower level, which will be receiving all the oil and where everything basic will take place. So for example, in that corner over there, I can make plastic. In this one over here, I can make rubber. Over there, I can make fuel. And then the fourth one, I'm not entirely sure. But the point is that the lower level will be for those basic things. And then once I unlock packaging, or whatever that milestone was called in the tier, on the top level, we can have oil and water packaging for future transport. And speaking of which, this small platform I'm on right here, and this entire back area will just be storage for those things. And this platform up here specifically will be for when I unlock the milestone for trains, so that a train can come through and go along to where the main hub is and wherever else I decided to designate it. And honestly, this is the furthest I've ever planned in terms of, well, planning for train structure, so hey, there's that. For some reason it took me a ridiculously long time to get something going here. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had a very vague idea, very hazy. So I'm glad that in the end I could sort of figure it out. An elongated, very square structure, but ultimately I think it'll end up looking nice. It'll be a lot more open, with less walls than some of the other structures, but that's because, come on, it's an oil rig. Oil rigs are meant to be kind of open. The next step here is to simply fill it in and then start building the actual oil manufacturing things. Though, because of the sheer scale of it, as it's a pretty large structure, comparable even to the coal power plant, the auxiliary one, and that I want to actually finish it, and by which I mean placing down all the walls and just every little detail here and there, this episode may come out a little later than usual. So yeah, I guess I needed to say that so that you understand why it came out later than usual. Though, now that I think about it, you know, this is a problem for future me, even though current me doesn't know how long it'll take. Several return trips later, and I'm at this point right now. As you can see, I've built up a few refineries, basically using up all of my oil. But this first test run, because I haven't actually turned them on, will be just that, a test run. I've placed down some temporary storage for each of them to start pumping in things like fuel, plastic, and rubber. And I'm kind of nervous, but I'm also excited to see if the setup I have for oil actually holds out. I calculated it so that the numbers are pretty much rounded down. Each one is not using any more or any less oil than they have to be, but I'm nervous because I don't know if the oil will actually pump up and keep the systems running well enough. For now though, let's plug it in and see what happens. First rubber and plastic, and then fuel. And let's see now. Fluids are pumping, pipes are distributing, everything seems to be going well. You're not as full as you could be, I think. No siree. And yet, you are making plastic. Okay. As for the actual storages, well, as soon as the rubber and plastic are, well, they're already here. I'm producing so much that I can actually afford to buy industrial manufacturing now. Let me just check the other side while I'm at this, and yeah, for now I guess this is it until I get the next milestone, which would be packaging. That'll be interesting all on its own, but I'm excited to see what I can do with this, especially with the fuel. Got a good amount of polymer resin over here. And, oh my goodness. Are you already full? Almost. That means I can start working on actually building up the rest of this factory. Putting up what little walls I have planned for it. Maybe constructors. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'd rather wait until I have the actual milestone bought to properly figure it out. But I can put down railings in the meantime.
Milestone reached. The manufacturer increases production complexity. A critical look at production line logistics and efficiency is recommended during integration. The truck allows for increased efficiency in transportation, automated or otherwise. No project parts enable progress to the next phase.
Thanks, Ada. Okay, and now that I got that, is where I gotta say, scratch everything I said before. Literally just scratch it off the table. I was looking at the refiner, I was looking at the byproducts that are made when you create plastic, rubber, and fuel, and I realized that the system, first of all, it stalled way too fast because I filled up the liquid buffers way too fast. And it's because I'm not doing anything with the byproducts. But they're recyclable, using more refiners. So I realized I can't even begin to complete the current oil processing facility, you know, walls and railings and all that, without considering all of the expansion I have to do first. More refiners, the possibility of adding the electrical power plant there, as well as the advanced liquid packaging in order to package up the fuel and the oil. And so with that in mind, I'm not going to complete that one just yet. Instead, what I'm going to do to not leave this episode so high and dry is I'm going to wall up and finish up the Hyper 2 tunnel leading to the explosives factory, as well as the explosives factory itself. I think that'll be a good way to send this episode off while I think of the logistics for the next one. One time lapse later, and here we are, the so far completed explosives factory. And I say so far completed because
I see they missed a wall over there, but also...
that little bridge over there isn't even done, and you know what, let me just show you how it looks up close. But this is basically the explosives factory completed, as well as the hypertube tunnel system completed. Here we have the up front and close look at it, and as soon as I go in, you'll see how psychedelic it kind of looks on the inside. It was way easier to make than the other one because it required less concrete. And when I mentioned that I had an idea for a hypertube tunnel when I made the other one, I was talking about this one. And so, see how it looks? It looks very cool, very trippy. A lot more closed off, less light, and yet, I don't know, I seem to like it a lot more. So we exit the tunnel and enter the factory. On our right we have the actual production line, where the explosives are made. Out one wall, in the other, for no other reason than, like I mentioned previously, I like it. And then it goes up into the storage area. Pop down to the left in the little hallway at the start, and we arrive at the base level area, where we have some windows to look out, see the pretty view, make sure this area isn't so dark. At the far end we have this door leading to this hallway, more windows, more small production hub area, and as I just mentioned, this area at the end is not done. So yeah, it's basically done, like the actual factory itself is done, but since I have plans for the copper and limestone nodes that are in this general direction, I left it up to here. I thought it was a good idea. Also, should I ever need to expand into the rest of the factory, say if I want to put in a manufacturer for rifle cartridges or whatever, I have this extra space here, which would involve remodeling the roof, but so far, yeah, I have this extra space here. Finally, if we want to get up to the actual space where the storage is, we just take this one hypertube over here, pop inside, got the storage. If we wanted to look down at the manufacturing process, we could. We have this view of the desert over here, which is looking pretty nice, as well as of the roof, as well as of the actual base, the rest of it. And on this other side, we have two balconies. One to, again, look out towards the base, and another to look out at the foliage, which, honestly, I think it's a nice view, which is why I put this out here in the first place. And then when we're going to go back down, we just pop back down here, and away we go. Okay, and with this, I think I'm going to leave this episode here. As I've mentioned before, I don't like making these too long or too filled to the brim with content, because I know I have a tendency to overextend myself. And like I said before, the oil manufacturing and processing plant will actually be expanded upon. It will take a lot longer to complete, so I'm going to leave that as it is for now. In the meantime, I'm going to be working on the base, smaller things like the walls, things that need to be completed like this one. I mean, it's done, but the walls aren't quite in. Other than that, I do have more plans for the future, especially for the next episode, but I'll get to that in the actual episode. For now, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Satisfactory Non-Series. If you liked it, then please thumb us with that like button down below, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell button for some sweet notifications. But as always, I'm the only me, so you be the only you. See you next time.